Scar, who is then taken to an underground complex, is tied to a chair with a sack over his head. When he wakes up, he demands to be released of his bondage. An unidentified woman voices her pleasure of seeing him awake, and he decodes the voice as a female voice and in a fit of rage demands to be released while threatening the lady. She takes off the sack off his head, and he recognizes her and readily apologizes for his initial remarks. Dame, a socialite and political rival of Chief Fernandez, is aware of Scar's problems with Fernandez and how he does not want to shut down the drug operation. She proposes that he help her with her political ambitions by taking out Fernandez, her main opponent, in exchange for tripling of whatever Fernandez promised him. Not wanting to lose the little power Shantytown provides for him, he agrees to her request, but because Fernandez is tightly guarded, he proposed to bring Femi, which she declines since Fernandez could care less about him. But if they could get their hands on his famed ring, known for its mysterious abilities, Fernandez will be theirs. Meanwhile, after their night of fun, Shalewa and Femi made it to Femi's residence, where Shalewa intends to depart without informing Femi, who is asleep, and leaves a message for him. She tiptoes through the several staircases of the gorgeous mansion, barely making a sound, but stops to admire a lovely piano when she is startled by Chief Fernandez, who tells her of a theft experience he had with girls like her. The story denotes regrets which he nurses for letting his guard down, and since he had learned his lessons, he directs his guard to strip her naked and search her to ensure she is not a thief. When he finds nothing, he informs her he will apologize to Femi, then she leaves. Inam knocks on Mama T's door as she is looking through an old photo album, coughing persistently and taking her medications. She is happy to see Inam and embraces her tightly. When Mama T expresses her guilt over her role in the initiation of the girls in the Shantytown, Inam comforts her and promises to be there for her. She then goes to Scar's chambers, where he is delighted to see her and showers her with compliments. She is unimpressed by his praises and compliments, and reprimands him for his prolonged lack of communication with her while she was imprisoned. He allays her complaints, assures her of his love for her, and kisses her. He then makes a promise to pimp her out to the big boys of Lagos and offers to take a 25% cut from her. When he leaves her to go freshen up, she phones her handlers to inform them of her infiltrating the operation. Scar looks in the mirror after being disgraced twice in one day and scorns himself for being weak and not being his strongest self, but is cut short in his introspection by Ine, whom he almost shoots. The reason for her sudden appearance and downcast mood is because of her uneasiness of Inam's presence, and since she is occupying Inam's position after Inam got locked up in jail, she seeks to know when Scar will eliminate her. He alienates her fears and assures her of her position and of his plan to eliminate Inam. When they arrive at the club, Ine attempts to talk Inam out of performing because she has been in prison for too long and may not be ready, but Inam assures her of her commitment. The outfit given to her was too revealing, so she exchanges it for another when Ine isn't looking. Ine then brings a tray containing cocaine and invites the girls to partake in order to get them in the mood, and since she isn't the real Inam, she refused, giving excuses that aren't enough for Ine, who tells her it isn't a request, and Inam eventually gives in. Meanwhile, Chief Fernandez, who had already arrived at the club, is unimpressed by the first set of girls revealed and did not place a bid. Back in Shantytown, Scar calls for Shalewa and is startled by Mama T, who appears to be sick and coughs unceasingly. Scar affirms himself as a good man and blames her current situation on her father, who has let him down. He tells her that he has a way for her to pay off the 15 million naira she owes him and earn her freedom. She is confused by this, but he assures her that if she does it, he would wipe off all of her debts. All she has to do is get close to a target and gain his trust. She intends to use sex to entice the target, and he mocks her for tying sex to everything. Mama T gives her a necklace that grants the wearer control over any man, and with that, she will use it to obtain something from their target for Scar. He tells her the mark's name is Femi Fernandez. She is taken aback but determined. No man will stand in her way of freedom. In the club, Ine reveals the second set of girls and they begin dancing. Chief Fernandez immediately bids on number 2, which is Inam. Ine is disturbed by this because Mr. Fernandez has an unusual practice with the girls, but she takes Inam to him anyway. When she enters the room, Chief Fernandez tells her to undress. She is taken aback by his forwardness. He reiterates with a shout, and she obeys. She began by directing her bag, which is inconspicuously concealing a camera, toward the bed. When she proposed a different kind of fun to him, he pushes her to the bed, slaps her several times, he gags and bounds her, then pulls some 50 Shades moves while expressing his displeasure on her mismatched undies, and finally rapes her. When he is finished, he requests that the accountant handle the mess, and the accountant, in turn, calls for Ine to handle it. Ine unbounds her and pulls a "I told you so" line on Inam, who is sobbing. Ine promises to take her to Scar, whom Inam repeatedly calls out and accuses. Scar is horrified to learn what Chief Fernandez did to Inam. Apparently, Chief Fernandez has been acting in this manner before. and Scar has not done anything about it. He asked Colorado to take her to his room so she could rest and be cared for. Scar fumes as he attempts to contact the chief, but Ine says it's almost pointless at this point. When Scar asked why she had to bring Inem back to Shantytown, she tells him Inem claimed to have an unfinished business with him. Ine gives pain relievers to Inem and cleans her up. When she inquires as to why she had to return to the Shantytown after fleeing it, Inem replies that she has dedicated her entire life to working as a hooker for Scar and has no other knowledge. She also claims that Scar owes her money and that she will be unable to live until he repays her. Ine then hands her a sleeping pill, which she pretends to swallow but spills when Ine goes to get her clothes. We learn that she planned to be in Scar's room when Ine left, so she took advantage of the opportunity to look around and discovered a safe hidden in the mirror. She quickly photographed important papers and collects stacks of $100 bills before making her way to the bed before Ine returned with the clothes. The next day, she disguises herself in a hoodie and approaches a parked Ford Transit vehicle on the outskirts of Shantytown, knocking in code and being immediately let in. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to help the channel out. Drop a comment telling us what you think, with a recommendation of what you would like to see next.